Tumo. I'm currently a social long-distance runner. In 2015, I completed my first 2 oceans and my first Comrades Marathon. And the 4 major races that I'm busy with right now is the Mandela Marathon, the Soweto Marathon, the Comrades Marathon, and the 2 Oceans Marathon. And my main goal on these races is that I want to achieve the permanent number, whereby I'll be running 10 races where I'll be granted a permanent number on those races. Up to so far on Mandela Marathon, I've done 6 consecutive ones. The Soweto Marathon also 6 consecutive ones, and the 2 Oceans and Comrades, due to the pandemic that the country is facing right now, they couldn't happen this year, so I'm still standing on the 5 races. And some of the races that I have done so far are races like the Cape Town Marathon, the Omdidam Marathon, the 3-in-1 Cosmos, the Aspen Marathons. So currently my goal is to run the 777 Marathon. This is a race whereby you do the 7 marathons in 7 days over 7 continents. So that's one of the goals that I'm busy with right now, even though it requires a lot of money, but I'm planning to do that. And one other one, the one that I have run, the longest one that I have run, which stays in my heart forever, is the Washi 100 miler, whereby you run 161 kilometers over a period of 26 hours. And I done that in 2018, where I finished the race in 24 hours, 40 minutes and 5 seconds. Qualifying for Comrades Marathon requires a runner to do 42 kilometers in. Previously it was 5 hours, then they dropped the time to 4 hours, 50 minutes. And in that categories, we are having something like a seeding in Comrades Marathon, whereby there will be A seeding, B seeding, C seedings. In this, if I can give an example of how this seedings works, if you can run the 42 kilometers in less than 3 hours, then you qualify to be on this A seeding. Then if you can run the 42 kilometers in 3 hours 20 minutes, between the 3 hours and 3 hours and 3 hours 20 minutes, then you qualify to be on a B seeding. Then on the C seeding, you should run the 42 kilometers in about 3:20 and 3:40 time, then you'll be on a C seeding. And if you go on a D seeding, that's when you start to run the full marathon between 4 hours and 3 hours 40 minutes. Then on the E seeding, that's when you get the permanent numbers, the one that I want to do, whereby you automatically, if you have a 10 Comrades Marathon, you automatically becomes on E seeding without any qualification or whatever. Then you go to the F seeding, it's where you can run the 42 kilometers from 4 hours to 4 hours 20 minutes. Then the G seeding is where you can run from 4:20 to 4:40, and the last one, which is the H1, is where you can run from 40 to 4:50. A Comrades Marathon is one of the toughest races, because if they can tell you, they will tell you that running a Comrades Marathon, your body can only take you up until 60 kilometers. Then from 60 kilometers upwards, that's when your mental fitness should kick in. So for me, it's very simple, because what I do is that during the week is the time before I go to work, is the time where I do my short runs and all those things, the speed and the medium tempo and all those things. Then after, on the weekend, that's when we concentrate on the long runs. Long runs is whereby you increase the number of kilometers that you run on the weekend, because you do have a lot of time, you don't have to go to work. That's when you plan your runs, the runs that between 35 to 40 kilometers. Then if at all you are doing that, you are busy preparing your mind in terms of being mentally fit. And by doing, they call it a back-to-back long runs, whereby you even on Sunday, that's when you should do the long run. That's when you train your mind, your mental capacity to be strong, by forcing your body to go and run, whereas it is tired. So they go hand in hand, your runs and all your forcing your body to do more even when it's tired. They always say if you can run up until 60 kilometers, then going on beyond the 60 kilometers, that's when your body said, no, I can't take it anymore. That's when your mental fitness kicks. So mentally and physically, they go along in terms of preparing your body to do more than what it can do. What I usually do is that when I run the marathon, it will be the 3 days before the marathon. That's where I do the carbo loading. Carbo loading is when you eat the pastas that will sustain you for a very long time or on your body. Then during the Comrades Marathon, then I'll start that diet of carbo loading with the pasta for about 7 days before the race. From there, one of the things that the substance that I'm using, the supplement that I'm using in terms of the energy and all those things, I use the simple things, salt tabs. Then I'll use the magnesium one, the slow max. Those are the things that I usually take before the marathons. In terms of Comrades Marathon, a day before the race is one of the most difficult days to any runner. If I can explain to you what goes through your mind, you have to go and collect your race pack. You have to rest most of the time. They always say you keep your legs elevated and every time and again. But the problem is you can't sleep. You think of the work that you have done throughout the year. Are you going to be able to execute this plan that you have? Are you going to be able to cross the finish line? Because running is one of the funniest things. You can be ready, but you will never know what will happen during the run. You will never know what will happen at the 60 kilometer, 40 kilometer mark. So what I usually do when people ask me, are you ready for Comrades Marathon or the Washi or any marathon? What I say is that I'll be ready when I've crossed the finish line. You must come and ask me that question, then I'll tell you I was ready on this one. We all know that Comrades Marathon is one of the races that is very, very huge. The number of participants are huge. So it is very important to wake up as early as possible. It's very important to be at the starting line as early as possible. Bear in mind that if you don't go there on time, it's going to be a problem on you. You're going to start at the end of the back of all the people. So being in time is very important. What I usually do is that on the race day, I make sure that I arrive there 30 minutes before the race. Always the race starts at 5:30, so what I'll do is at 5 o'clock I'll make sure that I'm there. The thing is, if you go more earlier than that, for me it works with my mind. It really doesn't give me that a peace to be there that early. I'll be thinking a lot of negative things and everything, but being there 30 minutes before the start of the race works for me. The strategies that I've been working on, the strategies that I've been using is that keep to your plan, your game plan. Because in Comrades Marathon, you find a person older than you, running faster than you. Then if those things will come and dent your confidence, say this old person can't run faster than me, then by that time you are deviating away from your plan. Then that time, remember Comrades, we have the famous five. They call them the famous five. It is the strongest hills in the race. We talk the Kawi hills, the Bota hills, we have the Inchanga, we have the Field hills, then we have the famous one, was this one? The last one, I'll remember that one. Then you have to have the strategy to tackle these hills. Those hills are the ones that can break you or that can make you. So on my strategy on this one, what I do is that I power walk them so that I can reserve more strength to go forward, because Comrades Marathon is not about one hill. Comrades Marathon is not 40 kilometers. Comrades Marathon is one race that is longer. It takes you the whole day to run it. So what happens, and the advice that I can give is that stick to your plan. When running with other people's plan will make your race to end very, very quick.